Hello, everyone. This is Ben with CTK. I wanted to reach out to you this week for two reasons. Number one, as you know, there's a ton going on in our world, and I talked about it last week, and I just want to briefly mention it now. It's so important for us to stay unified as a church. There's all kinds of different routes and positions we can take, but as I mentioned on Sunday, the place of power that we will choose is the place of power that Jesus sits in, and that is a place of humility and meekness. That's our posture in the days to come, and it's going to be a challenge to stay there, because if you're like me, you've got all kinds of opinions, you've got all kinds of thoughts about what is going on. But I'm going to choose to believe that God is in this somewhere, and that if we truly look for his son Jesus, we're not going to find him in the things that are loud. We're not going to find him in the violence. We're not going to find him in the shouting match. We're going to find Jesus where he always is, in places where he's saving, renewing, transforming in the lives of the orphans and the widows and those who are broken, those who are willing to listen. I speak for myself, and I know I speak for so many of you. I want to be that person who is willing to listen and willing to submit. That's the first thing I wanted to bring to you. It's so important for us to stay connected in these days. And this is a way for us to stay connected. That's the first thing. The second thing, Rachel brought us a message last week about the wilderness, specifically Jacob's experience in the wilderness in Genesis 32, where he wrestled with God. This has been something that has been resonating with me, and it's going to continue to resonate with me. And I wanted to let you know that we're going to spend some time in this concept of the wilderness for a few weeks. It's going to be sort of a message series. And part of the reason I wanted to come to you was to say those things, but to also say this. That's where we're going. I want you to think about what comes to your mind when I say wilderness. Now, there's literal things that are going to come to your mind, but I'm speaking to a figurative wilderness that we find ourselves in right now, all of us. Now, we could point to COVID, and sort of that can be the thing that we sort of throw darts at as the wilderness, but COVID really has amplified some of the wildernesses that we've been experiencing well before COVID. There's struggles that we have, there's things, all kinds of things that have been made worse or maybe brought to the surface by COVID. And I want us all to look at those things, because God has something for us in those wilderness places. Maybe we're currently wrestling with God in those places. Maybe we need to wrestle with God in those places. But no doubt, we're learning how to submit to God's power and his will. And in those places where we wrestle, in this crazy time right now, it's so important for us to know that God is doing something. He's doing something big, and he's doing something great for our growth. Just like Jacob, he wrestled through the night, and as the sun rose in the morning, he received blessing. But that blessing didn't come until Jacob was defeated. On a large scale, I believe that the church is wrestling with God right now. And in order to experience victory, the church has to be defeated by Christ and Christ alone. As individuals, if we want to experience blessing, we have to be willing to die to ourselves. And it's a rough night, but the sun is going to come up. And when the sun comes up, I believe there's going to be an awakening. And we're going to see things that we've never seen before. And God is going to move in ways that maybe we've never experienced, or maybe we just haven't had the eyes to experience. But as we talk about the wilderness, we're going to explore these ideas. But I want you to think about what wilderness means for you. So I think that's all I have. My heart here is for us to stay connected, to remind us to stay humble and stay meek, to stay in that true place, that true seat of power that Jesus Christ and only Jesus Christ occupies. And also to give us a short-term vision for this idea of wilderness and where God might be taking us in our word and our Sunday morning gathering as we worship and as we dig into Scripture together. That's all I have. I hope to see you Sunday, either through the live stream or in person. Please stay connected. Know that you are loved and you are valuable. God made you, and he loves you, and he has good gifts for you in the days to come. See you soon.